Stay home, stay safe. So today we are here and we are introducing this career guide channel for you guys to grow in your career and your academics. So let's start with my introduction first. I am Raja Chaudhary and I am working as IT professional in an MNC from past few years. I have a great passion for teaching and in my early years of my career, I have experience of teaching in multiple colleges as a guest appearance, taking classes for interview preparation and personality development. I've also experienced teaching in an institute also. As I have a great passion for teaching, that's why I'm just creating this channel. As nowadays I don't get that much of time, so that's why I'm starting this virtual classes for you guys. So let me know in the comments if you want any other topic or any topic or any subject in which you want any video or you want any information from us, so that we'll be very happy to help you in that one. So for now, I have taken a reference of a topic that is database. Why I have chosen this topic? Just because I am from this field, and I think this topic should be in our consideration, because of what we are producing from our daily activities, that is data. So the management of that data, how we used to manage that comes under database management system. So to understand that database management system, we should first understand what is database. So the topic which I have chosen for today, that is database. So let's start with that one. So here it is, database. So after listening to this word database, if you are new to the word, if you don't know anything about it, then the first question should come into your mind: what is database? And first, what is data? So let's start with the data. So by definition, if we go, or in layman terms, if we say, data is anything or everything you know. So that is how it works. But if I talk in terms of database, then what is data? Then data is a collection of facts. Then what is data? Data is a collection of facts. So why I have said this? Data is collection of facts, because in terms of database, what we use to store in database is basically used to store the data that we produce on every day. So the factual data that we need to run any application or run anything, that data we call here is in database, that data we call it here, right? So if we go through like the second term which you should be aware of, that is information. So if you say data is something that is a collection of facts, so that is a kind of data that we are producing. Then second term that comes as information. So let me introduce you information. What is information and what is the difference between data and information? So information is something that is useful for you. Like if you want a video on database management system, or if you want a video on anything, like if you want a song, or if you want a library, or if you want some anything, any kind of thing, then what you do, you go to YouTube. Then there are millions and trillions of videos on that particular topic, right? So they on YouTube, they just suppose there are 1 million videos present on YouTube, but that collectively is known as data, because it just based on some facts, there are 1 million videos present. Now what is information to you? The data which you want, like if you want a video on DBMS and you search on YouTube that the video on DBMS, so the list of videos that comes, that is the information for you, right? So if we talk about data, that is the collection of facts, and if we talk about information, the useful data for your purpose, that is known as information, right? So let's go further. I hope you have taken a note of it. So here we have understood about data. In data, what we understand, like what is data and what is information, the difference between these two terms, data and information. Now the second thing comes, that is database. What is database? Now database is a it is a collection of related database. Related, why I am seeing a related database? I'll explain it to you. So this is a collection of related facts or related data. So this related term is here is very important. Why it is important? Because in database we used to store this data, and like just take an example. If we know that a person is 25 years old, right? Or if I say that there's a list of people who are working in a company, or there are a list of products that are enlisted in a website. So the products are here, okay? Or the range of product, if we have price of some product, let's just say there are 200 rupees. So if the data is here, right? If we see the data is here, we have the data that is 25 year, we have the list of products, let's just say X, Y, Z, something like that. So if we have data here, but this data is of no use until unless we cannot perform a query or a transaction on it. So to perform a transaction, we have to store this data in a relatable format. In such a way, we have to store it. Okay, let me just give you an example how to store this data. Let's just say there's a person called I mean just take the example of Alan. There is a person called Alan. His age is 25 years. He is a BTech graduate. Where is he working right now? He's working in an IT company. So if we have this complete information and we have stored it in this way, then it is useful for us, right? And why we are storing this data into database? We can store data anywhere, right? If you want to store the data, you can just take an example. Like if you want to store a data, you can write it on a notepad, right? Let's just take an example of a shopkeeper or a mall that they used to enlist the list of their employees. So if they are having a list of employees, they can note down their list of employees on a notepad, right? But just think a scenario where we have a company where employees where there are not 10 or 20 employees, they have employees of 200 or 300, right? So in that way, if we have that much of employees, it will become very difficult to keep a note, handwritten note, because it is prone to multiple mistakes in that. So in that case, what we can do, you can say that we can store that information not in notepad, not in anywhere where we do the manual entries. We can store it somewhere. We can use the computer, right? We can use the computer, we can store it there. But let's just suppose you are storing that information in the notepad. In computer you are storing that in notepad, right? So if you have 200 people and the list of 200 people, and you are storing that there like X, Y, Z, and then it goes on like that, and it becomes like 1 million one day. So if it becomes 1 million, then it will be very difficult for you guys. Why we are storing the information? So that we can use it anytime whenever we need it. But the problem here is, if you save this information here in Notepad, then you won't be able to retrieve the data very fast, right? Why we are storing this information here? Just to keep a track. Why we are keeping the track? Because we need that information going forward in future, right? So there's no use of storing the data if we cannot retrieve it, or if the retrieval takes so much of time. Like you have to manually search in that, so it won't be very useful for you. So in that case, what we have did, we have created databases. There are multiple databases that are available in the market that companies are using nowadays. Most of them are like there are few categories of databases as well. Some are related RDBMS databases. Some are NoSQL databases. So now a new term introduces here is SQL. So if we talk about SQL here, what is this? This is the language, or this is the structured query language that we use to retrieve the data from the database. So what that means is like you have stored information of 100 people in database, and that information is like, just take an example of products on a website. Like there are 200 products on a website, and they have stored 200 products on this their website, and one product goes out of stock, or they are no more selling that product. So that should not come on the website, right? So what the information that we are seeing on the websites or the product list, that is coming from a database. They have stored it there. So what they will do, they will just remove that information from the database. And how they will remove? There are multiple operations using this SQL language that we can perform. So the basic operations that we can perform using the SQL. So after storing the data into the database, we are using SQL to retrieve the data, or to store the data as well. We are using the SQL. So the basic operation that we do in SQL is CRUD operation. That is CRUD operation. So what does CRUD operation means? The full form of CRUD is C stands for create. Create means you are creating a new record, or you are entering a new information into the database. What R means here is, it means retrieve. So you are once you are storing any information into the database, and then you are retrieving that information whenever you need it. So this means is, so this is retrieve. What this U means is, this means update. So just take an example. You have a new product in your list that you want to add on your website, that you are selling that product as well. So what you will do, you will create an entry into the database for that using this create option, right? Then second option come retrieve. If you want to see the information of some product, or like let's just suppose there was a product or just a shampoo maybe. So if any website is selling a shampoo, earlier its price was 100 rupees. Now if the price has been increased to 150, how the people will get to know using that website that the product of this shampoo has increased? If the company of the website, or the data management team of that particular website has not updated the value into the database, you will still see this 100 rupees on the website page. So that will be a loss to them. So what they will do, they will retrieve the information of that particular brand of shampoo, and then they will just do a updation on that, right? So they will update this particular value using the update statement. I'll let you know in the coming section of the video how can we write those statements to perform this CRUD operation. Now the last option is D, that stands for delete, right? As I explained you right just before, that delete means if some information they don't want to show you, they can delete it from the database. So these are the basic operations. So this the main statement that we use for creation, that is like insert. This is the keyword that we are using for creating a new record. Then for retrieve, we used to do select statement. So these are the basic acronyms that we are using to create, retrieve, update, delete. So in the context of this SQL, these are the layman term these are the basic functionality that we are doing on a database, that we are performing on a database. And these are the keywords that we are using. So to create, we are using an insert statement, you can say. For retrieve, we are using a select statement. For update, we are using an update statement. And then to delete, we are using a delete statement. Right? There are multiple statements that we are using to perform this. These are the main acronyms, and these are the basic statements that we are using. So let's just go to this create statement. So before going to the directly to the statements, this CRUD operation statement, we should first see the basic words or the basic terms that we use in the context of database. So in the database structure is like this. Like if we have created a database name as products, right? We have created a database. This is our DB. So this is our DB as products. So inside this database, what we'll have multiple tables. Inside a single database, we can have multiple tables. Let's just suppose inside that product, what kind of tables we have? We can have a table of products, right? This is products table. Okay. Inside this, we can have another table that is known as rates. So there may be a new table known as rates. So what this rates will have? This rates will have the rate statement of this particular product. Like if we have a list of product, then this rate statement will have rate table will have the details of rate of the particular product. Then we can say we can have the vendors of the product. We can have one thing like vendors. Why I have taken vendors here? Let's just suppose take an example of Flipkart. So that Flipkart, what is Flipkart? It is mainly working on data. So how it is working? It is not creating any product. It's not manufacturing product. What it is doing, it is just using the data that vendors have provided it to it. Like the vendors are registered with the Flipkart. They have provided the list of items they have with them for the delivery. What Flipkart is doing, it is just acting as an interface in between the user and the vendor who is selling the actual product. But what is the main role of Flipkart? It is just maintaining that data which vendors have provided to it. You understanding my point? So that kind of information a database can store. Like this is the particular product, this is the rate for that product, and these are the vendors which is selling that particular product. So this kind of statement we have. So this is the structure of the database. This is the database. This is the database name. These are all the tables. This is mainly the hierarchy. So first comes a database. Inside that we have multiple tables, and inside a one table, what we can have inside the table, we have inside the table rows and columns. So table is nothing but a collection of rows and columns. So let's just take an example of this products. We have taken this just assume one product, and we'll explain how we are storing that thing. So while creating a table, what we used to do, we used to define columns, that what kind of details that particular table will have. So let's just take this example of table like employee table. We have an employee table. So this is the table name, right? So what kind of columns we can have in it? Like first column we can have of employee ID. First it has to be a ID of employee. So it is EMP ID. Now the second column, what we can have in second column? We can have the employee name. So that is EMP name. Then next what we can have? We can have an employee number. Employee mobile number you can say. Or you can say just mobile number. That is just depends on the naming convention. Whatever naming convention is easy for you, you can give that. So next is address. We can have the address of particular employee. So what, like if we have an employee 1, this is Alex. So this employee is Alex. Mobile number, let's just say anything, or like a 1 2 3 4, and enter here till 10 digits. Then their address, maybe some city, some country. So that kind of address we can store it here. Then in address we can have one more. Okay, let's just forget about it right now. We'll cover it later. We can have a second employee. Just suppose it's Ben, and their mobile number is 8492 or 98, something goes like this. And then again the address of some city, like it is NY. So we can have such kind of records here. So this vertical lines are known as columns, and these horizontal things are known as rows, or in basic form of, or in the main form of a database, what we call them is tuples. These are also known as rows and tuples. So what these rows having? These rows are having the details of employee, like their employee ID, their name, their mobile number, their address, and other details, whatever a person want to store in it. So they can create a endless of columns in it. So it depends on the database that you have chosen, like how you want to implement it. So this is employee table. So what we have in table, we can have in our columns and our rows in table. So on the basis of the column names and the data that we have in rows, we used to give statements like CRUD operation statements that I have explained earlier. So this is all for the database for today. I hope you guys like the session. If you want this video or any other video to be in any other language, this language is not a barrier. We can provide you videos in Hindi language as well. You just let us know in the comments like if you like this video or not. We have just explained a basics of database. It has nothing to do with the complete flow or the query that we used to write for finding the database details. So it is somewhat similar. This video is just to give you an overview that what is database, and if you find it interesting, you can like and subscribe this channel and follow us for more videos. And definitely I'm going to provide you a next part of this particular video in the next session, so that you can understand the database in more detail. It is not a mandatory and a hard and fast rule that you have to ask us a question on IT from IT field or from some different computer languages. You can ask us any question if you have, like from like how to prepare for an interview, how to get away from the stage fear. Many of the people have stage fear. Or if you want to know that what is the process that you can follow and get into any career or anything that you want us to let you know, so you can just provide us a comment and we'll definitely create a video on that. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Have a great day.